Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm still playing 1844. And at the end of the last cycle of operating round, the first 5 train was exported, or it will now be exported, and that will then trigger the forming of the SBB. And that means that all the pre-Staatsbahn, the pre-state railroads, are now removed from the game. Their money, the trains, fall into the state railroad, and also the tokens are replaced with tokens of the state railroad. Here, where we have 2 tokens, one space will remain free, the other token will go back on the sheet of the state railroad. Okay, so I've replaced now all the tokens, and it is obviously impressive. I mean, it's all over the place. Except for this area here, there it has a bit of a disadvantage. There was no minor or pre-state railroad operating, so it's not going to be that easy for them to do a run into the Innsbruck direction. But apart from that, obviously it's a fantastic company now. They still have 2 tokens left that were not placed by the pre-state railroads, so they might get another chance to place them somehow here. They're holding, this is a pre-printed train, that's a 5H and a 3, and this will always stay with them, that never goes away. Then they have 2 3H trains. They may trade trains, but only for the face value. The state railroad may not trade trains for a free price. And they have always a train limit of 4. They get an additional capital of $400 in addition to what comes from the railroads. So now they are sitting on 500, well, close to 574. That's what they have. So from the small railroads, they received 174, and the 2 small trains. So they're in a fantastic shape. They can easily afford a 5 train if they want to. Then they're holding 4 trains, and they're just in a great shape. Now let's see. They have a pre-printed starting value down here of 100, and now the shares will be exchanged, and players get a compensation for the value. So if a share with a value of 165 will be exchanged for an SBB share, the player will get in addition $65. If the value would be lower, then the player would have to pay the difference to the bank. And they could even take a loan to do that, but no, we don't get to this because the value is everywhere higher. So players will now get some additional money from the bank before the stock round. Some players might get quite a bit, actually. And the presidencies, so here for example the 50% shares will be replaced with 10% shares, and the 25% shares will be replaced with 5% shares. Okay, so after the exchange of the shares, we got now this player here sitting on 15%, this guy 25%, this guy 10%, 25%, 10%, and we got another 15% in the market. These shares are also replaced. If there would have been shares left here in the initial offer, all the SBB shares would go in the market now. They don't have a par value or something. They are simply traded for market value. Now, at that point, because two players hold 25%, the player who has the lower numbered pre-state railroad presidency, he becomes the new director. And the knob was the pre-state railroad number 1. So he is now the director. So I'm going to give him, I'm going to make an exchange here. I'm going to give him here the director share, the D share. It's also just a 10% share. So he is now the director. But this guy, he has priority, and he has now the option to buy first an additional share of the SBB and this way gain control over it. And that is definitely something he wants to do. So, yeah, he buys another share for $100. And now he holds 30%, and that gives him now the presidency. Yeah, and this guy cannot go above that. So now the directorship is exchanged, and if possible, he's got to exchange it for 10% shares. So he cannot decide, I give you 2 of my 5% shares. That's not possible. If the director can do it, if the new director can do it, he has to give him a 10% share. But yeah, now he has these 35%, and yeah, player 2 can now decide what he wants to do here. For him, it was really important to gain control over the state railroad, because he can help the AB, which is a little bit trapped in here, and he already made a plan. He can upgrade this thing here with the state railroad, then he can make a good connection here for the AB, and then the AB will be in a solid position. By the way, I shouldn't forget that. Of course, the 5 train is purchased or was discarded. Now that means, let's get the sheet here. I don't want to forget anything here. Okay, so the brown tiles become available, obviously. The train limit becomes 2, except for the SBB. The private companies are closed. The SBB is formed. And we have now 3 operating rounds. Okay, so let's see. First we close the privates. And now this thing can be used, the 5H, and he places it right away in the AB. Now it will pay off, finally. These are tunnel companies. This is no private. Just have to make sure I don't mess this up. This one goes away. This one goes away. And, oh, yeah, of course. This one here, Società Anonima delle Ferrovie Milano Saronno e Milano Erba. So basically the F&M presidency company goes away now. And it wasn't even started. Interesting. And now This one here has to lay the tile, and the company receives an additional 80 bucks. So there we go, 80 bucks for the company, pretty cool. And we got this fancy tile here that is now placed here. Gonna remove the tunnel. There we go. The tunnel is placed here. Of course, it is still possible to build tunnels here. Okay, so now we have this connection here, and this guy, the RHB's home station is here, so he just has to lay a tile here and then he can connect. So I think before we now go into the stock round, it might be interesting to do some kind of, to see what the state of the game actually is, because this seems to be some key moment here. So this player here, this quite aggressive guy, he is doing still okay. It seems he holds 5 shares, 7, 8, 9, 10 shares. Basically, yeah, he holds 10 shares. And he's sitting here on about 650 bucks. So he has the most money, I think. And yeah, he's got a good amount of shares. The MOB is in a solid position. They will make a connection here, which gives them 500 bucks. They have 2 trains, none of them permanent. But, you know, if they do a single swallow, they might be able either to go for a 6 train, and that will be definitely doable with a single swallow. Maybe they can even try to get an 8 train in there if he's willing maybe to throw a little money from out of pocket in or whatever. We'll see about that. His problem is the VZ. The VZ is really not in a good condition. It has 100 bucks, owns a 3 train. That train will go away when the 6 trains come. And then, yeah, he's got to get some money. The 6 trains are 630, and I don't know. Yeah, he somehow has to get the money in here, and it's going to be hard. That's going to be painful for him. This guy here, he holds 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 shares, but he has clearly less money. He has 370, something like that. So he's got about 1 share more than that guy, but he has about 200 bucks less. He controls the SBB with 3 trains. And more interesting, he controls the AB. Now the AB is a great company. The AB has a 4 train. The AB already has a permanent train because of this special company that he invested in. And the AB is still sitting on nearly 300 bucks, and it is not even yet connected. So, I mean, the AB can easily aim for an express train, and in addition to that, they will have a permanent 5 train. So they are in a very, very strong position. Their goal must be to somehow orchestrate a good route here, maybe place a couple of dots. I can even see him, for example, it is easily possible that he could swallow with the SBB, buy the 4 train over at the right moment, and in this way get another a few hundred bucks exactly 300 because he can only do it for 300, but he can in this way get another 300 bucks into this company. So yeah, definitely probably the best company with the best future. I can see that easily. Interesting, this is the player who has the most conservative personality, you know. He didn't control a private except for that 5 train here. He was going very slow, only investing at the, no, that's not quite true, but he didn't go for a regional. So yeah, it was interesting here. This guy, well, I mean, he controls a mountain railroad, a tunnel company. So I would say we can count these suckers as shares. The tunnel company is not really, they don't give a lot of income. So let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 shares. So same amount as he does. He's got more money. He's got about 500 bucks. So he's also in a really good position here. But he's got a couple of issues here. He's got the Cha, which has no train, 200 bucks. So that means he wants to buy the Cha, a 5 train, which costs 400 bucks. So he's got to pay 200 bucks out of pocket, which means he basically is sitting not on 500 bucks, but on 300 bucks. Because he's got to save 200 bucks to buy that train here. Emergency financing works a little different in this game, but not a lot. So anyway, he's got to hold pretty much 200 bucks to buy a train. But this is not so much his main problem. His big, maybe it's not so bad. The RHB, I mean, they're not in a terrible position. He has no money here, so the RHB cannot lay that tile. He wanted to bring more money into this company. So the RHB will swallow, then lay the tile, then they are connected here, and then they will get another 500 bucks. In addition to their swallow, that's going to give them a good amount of money. And so it should be pretty easy for them to get definitely a permanent train. If they want an 8 express train, they're going to have to swallow again. I mean, I think the express train is what you're aiming for, you know. It's, if you can, it is a little bit about these east-west runs and the north-south runs. This is what you want. And I don't know if it's possible with a non-express train. It might be. Let's see if you have, what is the best? You might be able to get a 6. Yeah, there's a 6 train here. Yeah, the others are all hex trains. So basically you can only go with a 6 train. That will not be downgraded. But a 6 train, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no way. I think you're going to need an express train to get a really good run going here. Or you take 2 smaller trains, but I don't know. This guy here, he's holding 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 shares. And then he's holding these 2 shares here. So technically he's holding 13 shares, but that company, yeah, I don't know what to do with these guys. So, but he's definitely holding 11 shares. So he is in the same category as the others. He's sitting on 400 bucks. So he's definitely doing fine. His company holds 2 4 trains. That's pretty awesome. They're sitting on 100 bucks. And the problem is they're train locked right now. So eventually the company will be able to, and he does not have a second company. So eventually the company can only buy new trains if the 8 train comes out, or he somehow might consider starting that company. We'll see. So he definitely needs to swallow, I guess, and that kind of sucks because he will probably lose 2 runs with that company. First of all, he's got to swallow, and then yeah, the company will lose all its trains and has then to buy another train. That might be a reason for him to start this one. First, it brings his shares into play. Second, it will allow him to buy a train over, and maybe then the company only loses 1 run. However, if I want to start that thing, I only want to start it when the 6th train comes into play, in phase 6. The reason is that then I get a full capitalization without reaching my destination. Otherwise, I gotta make my way through here. You know, we got the $150 here through the mountains and all that, and then we're kind of stuck here. I don't know. I mean, it's really not easy to get to this space anymore, right? Because this is totally blocked. So basically, we have to somehow use another tunnel and then go, forget it. Ridiculous. So I guess the only way we can make this company work, there's probably no real way to make it really work, but we could start it down there, and then maybe, I don't know, we can sell it down again and try to use the money we make to help this company. But honestly, I'm not even sure if this is something I want to do. It's really a tough decision, but we'll see. Finally, this guy here, he's sitting on 5, 7, 8, 10 shares, 11 if we count the mountain. So he's also sitting on 11 shares. And he's also in a good position. The JN has a good amount of cash. They're sitting on $400. So yeah, that means they can afford a permanent 5H train if that is what they want. Now he is not so sure about that. A 6H train would be better. He can run from here. I mean, this thing isn't that great, but eventually it's gonna go down in value. But if he starts here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then maybe in here, if we can get a good mountain railroad here, that would be awesome. We can take Ben, which will go up to 60. This will go up to 50. The mountain railroad could go pretty high. So we could make a really good run, but we're going to need a 6 train for that. Or we aim for the 5 train and we simply start here. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we could do something like that. That might be even better. If we make a connection here, we would lose this, but that isn't too impressive. But then we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be probably also fine. Interesting decision here. Then he holds the STB, which is in a solid shape. He's got 2 trains, $100. There will be 450 more bucks coming in if they manage to connect down here, which shouldn't be too hard. And yeah, so I guess he might even aim for an express train too, if he's willing to. I mean, he definitely has to swallow once. Maybe that's enough. The express train is, I think, about 960. Nah, it's not that easy, but I think you want that thing. So I think overall we can say that they're all pretty even. Maybe the biggest trouble has this guy with this small company here, which, yeah, somehow is lacking money, and I don't see how they can get that. And maybe in the best position might be this guy. He has a little less shares and money, but he has this fantastic company. So I think maybe he could win that. But we'll see. We're far from the end here. So now we go into the stock round. He already bought a 5% share of the SBB. So now it's him. And now, yeah, it's the question, do we want to start this thing down here? I think this might not be the time to do it because, as I said, we probably want to wait until we come to the 6 to get the full capitalization. And yeah, then we'll see. So that was a really long stock round. And I think nobody actually made it to the certificate limit, but a few players came close. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think there are more. 15 is the certificate limit. Mountain Railroad and tunnels companies don't count. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think this guy is also sitting at 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But this thing is totally pointless. He is a little behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, he is clearly behind. He has 2 mountain railroads though. But yeah, there is, I mean, he's a little behind when it comes to shares. So, but he's got these double shares. The mountain railroads are giving him also money. So I think in the end, he is still doing okay. I don't know if it's good enough to play in the lead or for the lead, but I think he might still be okay. At least he has no trouble. So let's see what the share price does. This should be removed. And so we start here. This thing is sold out, so it goes up. This is sold out. The JN is sold out. The AB, of course, everybody wanted AB shares. These guys are not, and they stay where they are. These guys are in the bank pool. This is sold out, I think. Yeah, this is sold. Is it? What is that? The mob. Yeah, the mob is sold out. This one isn't. Okay. So we're ready to start the first OR of 3 now, and we go into brown. So the CHA goes first, and they made an upgrade here. And now they have no train. But that's what I expected. I have to, well, actually first I got to pay out the the tunnel companies. But first I'm going to do this now. So I got to spend overall $400 to get a 5H. And that's okay. I have saved that much money, so I can do that easily out of pocket. No problems for me. And then the company has a 5H train, and they will then simply run this route for the rest of the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's going to be a solid route. I own 100% with 4 certificates, so I think that is a fine company for me. So it's the SBB now, and first what they want to do is they want to upgrade this thing because they want to help the AB to get a connection to their destination. So yeah, they want to, you know, it's pretty much impossible to go this way here. It's really hard to get there. But if we simply upgrade it like this, we can simply get in here, because this space is now no longer blocked. So let's see. And then we get a ton of trains here, and we get a ton of cash. So now the question is, for example, do you want to buy a train here or not? In general, I think, yeah, why not? There's no reason for me to hold back. I got a 4 and a 5 train in here. I'm in a very good position. And there are a couple of players who only hold 3 trains. So if they get destroyed, I'm okay with that, I guess. On the other hand, I hold 2, 3 trains myself, and I'm making a lot of money out of them. And I'm holding a 4 and a 5 train. So at the moment, I might be the person who makes the most cash. So why changing the situation here? I'm not sure. I got to think about that a little bit. First, we got to see. Let's see what these guys can run for. They got a 5H train and 2 3H trains. Okay, that is a lot. They might even consider placing a token somewhere. But, no. I think my best run, it's actually not that impressive as I thought. There's a lot of room for improvement here. You know, I might consider laying, I don't know if I get a connection here, for example, but that was so important for me. Yeah, but I could connect here and go to this mountain railroad, for example, and maybe lay a good token somewhere. So I think I can make a lot more in the long run. But right now, as I said, I really wanted to open this whole area for the AB. They can now slip in there if they're lucky. I think they can do it, yeah. The JN will not cause any trouble to them, and then it is already them. So let's see, we have the 5 train can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, all of them are hex trains, right? And then this one can go 1, 2, 3, and the last 3 train can go 1, 2, 3. So that is a 9 and a 16 here. So that's 25. And then we can do here, that's 33, 36, 38. That's pretty good. 42. That's pretty good. That's a good run. So that's 42. And I guess right now I'm simply going to pay that out. Eventually I might want to swallow, but I don't think I want to do that yet. No, I think I want to pay that out, 42 bucks. So now I got to make that decision. Do I want to buy a 5 train or not? And you know, I'm not sure about that. It's really hard to judge. On the one hand, it seems like in the actual situation, I'm really making a lot of money. I got the best company. I got the 2 best companies in my hand. I hold a 4 and a 5 train, a 5 and 2 3 trains. If the 6 train comes out, I'm going to lose the 2 3 trains. I'm still going to be good though. And there are a couple of players who will be in trouble when the 6 train comes out. I mean, not too many, but this guy definitely will be. But he's going to lose 2 trains. It's going to be really painful for him. But I'm still not sure if it's such a great idea to push the trains in this situation if you are in a comfortable lead here, when it seems, at least. So I'm not, that's the other thing, I'm not totally confident that I'm actually doing so great. These shares, all these shares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they paid me out $147. I mean, I don't know. It is not, I think there might be companies, for example, the mob, that will go now like this, and, I think they might actually pay out more than that. I can see that happen. On the other hand, I got also 60% of the AB, and they're gonna run for a lot of money. But I don't have any double shares, for example. I don't have anything like this here, no regional shares. So I'm not sure about that. But I am also a very conservative player. So the thing is, I think it is possibly better to actually buy the train, because then I can make more out of my SBB shares. I think this is better. So therefore, what I'm going to do is, usually I would do it, but because I'm really very conservative, I'm only going to do it on a 1 or a 2. Otherwise, I just wait and and then what? Just let the $500 sit there. Well, why not? Maybe buy the 5 train later. But why would I do that? That's an interesting question. If I buy the 5 train later, I think I want a 5 train. It would be awesome if I could get 2 5s and an 8 in there. And I think I can get this done somehow. I probably have to swallow twice. But if I buy the 5 train now, I'm making a ton of money. I don't know, probably about $600 or something. And if I then swallow twice, I can buy the 4 train over, and I can and get this company the money they need for an 8 train, and I still have enough cash in here to buy also an 8 train. So that sounds pretty amazing. So here's the thing, if I want to buy the 5 train, I see the point. If I buy the 5 train, in this set of ORs, this guy also will buy the 5 train, and then by the end of this set, the 6 train will come up and kill all the 3s. I could run the whole set only with these 5 and the 2 3 trains, and I don't think there will be anybody else who can actually afford a 5 train. On the other hand, there might be people get connected. That's all very tricky. I think, I'm really conservative. So on a 1 to 3, I'm going to buy the train. I think it's something you should do, but because I'm a very conservative player, I only do it on a 1 to 3. And that's a 4, so I'm holding back. I'm not going to buy the train. If that's good or not, I don't know. It probably isn't. The thing is, it is basically totally stupid not to do it. Because in the end, it will not have any influence on how fast the game goes. Because if I don't buy the 6 either, but that's getting worse and worse. I think I have to buy that train, otherwise it's just a big mess. Yeah, I'm gonna buy that train. Everything else is just stupid. I have to buy that train. So I'm gonna spend the 450 and I get back $100. I have to buy this train. It would be I think it would be a big mistake not to do it, simply because you know, either I buy the train now or I buy it later before the phase change, but I can simply run it less. So I just lose money. It's as simple as that. And why would I wait on a 6 train that is just more expensive? I don't want a 6 train. I want 2 5s and maybe an 8. I don't want a 6 train. So I guess I buy that thing right now, and then we'll see. And then I can swallow next turn, get a lot of money in here, and maybe I can even swallow the turn afterward. I'm not sure about that, but I definitely want to swallow next turn. Then it's the JN, and they can now upgrade this thing, and that is really amazing. They have a 3 train here, so they can upgrade this. Oh, oh boy. Oh, fuck it. Incredible. It doesn't work that way. I didn't see that. Why didn't I see that? Are they all the same? No, they're not. Okay, cool. Yeah, I can do this. Okay, great. So I think I want that. That seems to make sense to me. And I can run now my 3H train simply from here to here, and I can make a lot of cash here. I'm running for 160 with a 3H train. Wow, that is amazing. And I own 60%, sadly only 60%, but it's still pretty good. And of course I'm gonna pay that out. So here's the question now. I could now buy the 5 train, or I could wait for the 6. If I wait for the 6, it means I probably have to swallow. But if I do that, I can then run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's pretty cool. I get the additional $40 here, at least. You know, I mean, this is great. Things might go even better. Yeah, it's definitely $40 more. But that's tricky, right? It's $40 more. But on the other hand, if I buy now the 5 train, I can run that train simply longer, probably. Maybe even 2 more ORs or something. I don't know if someone else is interested in buying a train right now. It's hard to tell. This is a pretty tough decision for me to make, actually. It's just an additional $40. Otherwise, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is also fine. I could also go through here. So yeah, I don't know. Tough choice. It's really weird. I don't know if it's worth waiting. Honestly, I don't think that there are a lot of people who are actually right now interested in buying an additional train. All the big companies are train locked, and the others don't have any money. I mean, yeah, for example, he could buy a train over, and then this guy, if he's connected, he can buy the 5 train. Maybe he could be interested in doing it. But I don't know. I don't know how long that will take. And I can simply run that train, maybe 2 more ORs, or maybe even 3 more ORs, than I would otherwise run the 6 train. So I think it's definitely worth buying it. And I don't have to swallow, you know, I think that's definitely, I'm gonna buy that 5 train for 400 bucks. You know, and from now on, this company is also just basically operating on its own. It has a preset route. I don't have to care. No, that's not quite true. I have to make this connection somehow. But I'm pretty sure someone will eventually. And if things go really wrong, I'm pretty sure at some point I'm going to be... it will work out somehow. I'm pretty optimistic here. So the AB is operating next, and they can now lay a tile here, and they are now connected with their destination here. And that gives them another 500 bucks. There we go. Now they have about 800 bucks, and eventually the 4 train, it will go down to a 4H, and then they get another 260 into the company because the SBB will buy the 4 train over. So, but I gotta spend a couple of bucks for tokens because I want to set up a really good run here. So I might even have to swallow once, but we'll see. So right now I want to place a token in this area here. Now I'm not totally sure. Zurich is obviously a good idea, but that one could also be interesting. The problem is, if someone else places a token in Zurich, I'm kind of cut off here. And I cannot really risk that. So I guess I have to do it. Yeah. I guess I'm going to go to Zurich. That seems the most important space now. So we got to spend 40 bucks for a token there. And now let's see, we got the 5H and the 4 train. So I guess the 4 still runs 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. And the 5H probably makes the most money if we simply run like this. It's the same as this, so it doesn't matter. So we cannot run it to its full extent, but it's still a good amount of money. I wonder if I make more if I go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That seems to be even better. I don't make Munich, but so I gotta calculate it. I think this is actually even better. But I don't have a token here, and I cannot run through here, of course. So I gotta do it like this here. Wow, I'm running for 39 bucks with that company. That is crazy. That is a ton of money. I'm holding 60% of that company. So yeah, I guess I want to pay that out. 39 bucks. Awesome. The STB is in a nasty position here. Basically, it would be great for them if they would connect this. The guy is also the owner of this company here, and then they could run 2 trains, 1 to here and 1 to here, and he would make really a good amount of money. Problem is, if he does that, he might get a problem with his connection to his destination, because You know, it will take him longer to do that. So I don't know, he has to upgrade this, and it's not sure that we find the right upgrade here. I mean, it is quite likely though. So we probably get an upgrade here, and yeah, I guess it's okay if we do that, but it takes us a little longer. Still, I think we might risk that. I think we're gonna risk it on a 1-2. Yeah, I think on a 1-4 I'm gonna take that risk. Okay, so no, I don't. This is too risky for the player here. He will go this way immediately. He wants his cash early and make sure that he can get the 450 bucks that he needs in his company. So that means he cannot make such a great run right now. He probably can run the 4 train here like this, and the 3H. It kind of sucks. Probably just like this. I mean, this is significantly less, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. This is just too risky for me otherwise. So the BLS, they upgraded this here, and they can now run their 4 train to Paris. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then again here 1, 2, 3. The second 4 train does not have a destination yet. Eventually we might be able to hook up this, and in that way make even more money. Yeah, but Paris is pretty awesome here. So I'm gonna make 130, and 160 is 290. 320, 360. Really good run here. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna pay that out. So the RHB with a 4 and a 3H, they ran like this, and the 4 train went 1, 2, 3, 4, and the tunnel also gives 10 in addition to that for every location. So they ran for 300 bucks, which is a lot, but they swallowed this. The reason is I gotta pay for that connection here to go here, and I have only a single buck in my company, so I was basically forced to swallow here. Okay, and now it's the VZ, and this guy, I mean, he only has 100 bucks in there, but his idea is basically just pays out all the time. He controls 40 bucks, and there are 40 bucks in here. So overall, the 80 bucks of the company, if he pays out 80%, not bucks, but 40 bucks, 40%, 40%. So that means 80% go either into the company or to him. So he might as well pay out. It's the 20% that he receives, but you know, I don't know, it's better than swallowing, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. He just loses share value, so he might as well simply say, okay, I just pay out all the time, and then basically pay 20% of that money out of pocket. And okay, and I'm gonna upgrade Lausanne, I guess. I could also try to go here, but I think it's good enough if I do this next turn. So I want to upgrade Lausanne. And that becomes now a single space. There we go. And I can run with my 3H train for 80, 120, 170. That's not bad, and we're gonna pay that out. So the SBB makes 680 bucks. Basically, they got this wonderful 5 from Lyon to this small area here. I placed this tile here for 30 bucks, but this gives me access to these 80 mountains. And then I kind of run around this area. I run a 3H, I run for these 2 here. I run the other 3H here. And then the other 5, I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, and I take the mountain company again. So I think this is probably the best I have. Yeah, I mean, I have a 5H, 2, 3H, and a real 5 train. And so the real 5 train does this off-board area here, Lyon, and all the others kind of run around in this area. Yeah, okay. I was kind of tempted to upgrade one of these cities, but because there are only 3 tiles left, 3 brown tiles left, but in the end, I thought that was just too good, this connection here for 80 bucks. I just wanted that. And you know what? I'm going to swallow. And actually, I think I'm going to swallow twice. You know, the situation is, I'm sitting here at, I don't know, 13 shares or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 12. And I got about 400 bucks in my hand here. And we're still going to run with the AB, and I'm pretty sure that the AB will probably always pay out. Maybe swallow once, but then I have more than enough cash here. I don't need that much money in my hand right now. I'm going to get to the share limit. You know, I think the money is now more valuable in the company. So I'm going to swallow the 680. And that will allow me then later to buy the 4 train from these guys. And in addition, I can buy a 3rd big train, probably even an 8 Express. And I guess that's a pretty good idea. So the JN with their 3H and the 5H, they run here and here, and that is 28. And you know, these are double shares, so it's basically 56 per share. That is also just a fantastic run. And of course they're going to pay that out. AB, they did an upgrade here because they wanted this straight line here. That's good for their 5H. They might be going eventually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's really good. This thing becomes 80. And the question is, they want to lay a token because this is going to be a very important line. And the best would be to have a token here and here. So, but I think right now, and I might be wrong about that, but I think I want my token here. Because that also kind of secures this route here. And you have here 2 open slots. So maybe people are not too eager to place a token there. Grants me access to Zurich. Eventually, I probably also want to make sure that I get this triangle in here. But there is only one. But that could be also good if I can get that. So I also have a route that goes like this. Yeah, these are the ideas I'm having here now. I probably have to swallow once with that company to get enough money for the tokens, but I want a good run. I want a strong position, and it's hard on this map. It really is, right? Over here, I don't know. I don't know how you can make an east-west run in this area. It's going to be very hard because this is blocked. I mean, that could go to gray eventually, but still, this is blocked. Here's only a single slot free. This is blocked here. This is blocked. This, I don't know. So I probably have to go more into this direction here, Belfort, hoping nobody places a token here, but then there might be a way around that somehow. Maybe from Munich to Belfort, so I'm gonna make this northern east-west run. Might not be quite as lucrative, but hey, it's a run. The other option would be to say, I'm going for a north-south run. I could start here in Stuttgart, for example, make my way all the way down here across that line, and that's what I was aiming for. And they're gonna build this connection here with the tunnel to here, because this is the this is where the BLS wants to go. So we're gonna see a connection here. So if I can hook up here, maybe then I can somehow build down there, but that is still pretty far away. But it could be an option. There is, of course, also the chance here to go for the tunnel and to go to Milan. But all that costs a lot of money, and therefore I think I'm gonna have to swallow here. But that's okay, I guess. I don't want to swallow now. I probably want to swallow next turn here. So right now I'm gonna run, and it's gonna be a good run. So yeah, I don't. You know, it would have been better to make this connection here, but you gotta plan ahead. There is now only a single brown city left, and I don't want to waste that opportunity. So we're gonna go with the 4 train again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 80 and another 110. So that's 190. And then we got our 5H. Yeah, I guess we're going to do the same thing as before and run this route again. It's not perfect, but as I said, I think we gotta accept a couple of losses now to be stronger than in the end game. So the BLS, they're gonna pay 20 bucks. There we go. There is this is the destination for the STB and the mob. I probably can remember, but still, let's place that stuff here. And then they can pay 100 bucks, and they don't have that. You gotta be kidding. Why don't they have that? Did I miscalculate? Well, it seemed I did. Shit. So that means I gotta swallow. Okay, so forget about that. Well, I can still do this, why not? So I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna spend the 20 bucks here. Oh boy. Okay. And... for some reason I don't have the cash for the train. I have no idea why. Yeah, okay. So that means, I gotta swallow. So, I don't know, I made quite a bit of money, so I probably have to swallow anyway. It doesn't matter. If I want a good train, I'm gonna have to swallow anyway. I made a lot of cash here. I don't quite remember how much it was, but it was about 400 bucks or so. So, yeah, okay. This guy swallowed 410. So the thing is, if he wants to go for a really good run, he's probably also forced to improve his position, and he probably wants also to lay a token there. But he can't do that. Yeah, he can't do it. He didn't have the 100 bucks. Okay, so it's not gonna happen. So, oh boy, you know what? It is even possible that other players might token him out now, and then he's not going to be able to place that tunnel anymore. That would be a disaster, because that would not bring him here. So, we'll see about that. I don't think it's that likely. I mean, he could still go then this way, but of course that would really suck. So the RHB, do I want to do that? I might, but I might, I don't know. Actually, I might prefer to upgrade this. I think that helps me more because I control both companies. So yeah, let's do this instead. Just like this. I can still make my connection here next turn. There is no need to be too greedy here, I think. And then I can also make a really good run with these guys here, running the 3 train, kind of like this, the 3H train, but the 4 train goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll make a lot of cash. Okay, so we're done with this operating round. The RHB now ran for 320, which is definitely really good. And yeah, well, basically we're going through this cycle of ORs now, and I don't think anybody will buy that 6 train. Most companies are locked anyway, and the ones that are not don't have the cash to do it. Basically, these regionals here, the VZ, the CHA, nobody will buy that train. So we might see a couple of swallows trying to set up a big run toward the end, and then we'll see. We'll see what the end game does. So for now, I'm going to load this up. Hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.